Good evening, everyone, and welcome back. So, tonight we have a bit of a different video. I really never wanted to make this video, but I wanted to sense my, I guess you would say, disappointment. Tonight we are going to talk about the rise and fall, and I do honestly not know how this first word is pronounced. Phalanx Imperious. I know the back word, Phalanx Imperious. So, Phalanx Imperious is a channel that started gaining momentum about 2.5 months ago, and in his videos, I thought some were very well put together, and but this one that we're going to take some clips of, and then we're going to go to his apology video. It has almost 8,000 views. It says Foodie Beauty, Foodie Beauty, BB the Breakdown, let's start over. Foodie Beauty, BB the Breakdown, a deep dive. Now, the video started picking up momentum. He almost has in his, almost 58,000 views. A little short, but almost 58,000 views. When it says joined May 15th, 2013, and it doesn't have any description, but, channels, he likes Robin, he's got Foodie Beauty, sorry, I never did, Tiffany Sherry, Tom Harlock, Trisha Paytas, Jet. Let me see if he's got us. Coming, guys, I didn't look at this, but he's got Yaba, and yeah, so guess he wasn't a fan of us, but that's okay. So I never noticed that part, so I figured we'd take a gander. But anyway, so I thought this channel was a decent channel before we'll get into. So this channel, this almost, again, like I says, almost has 7,800. I am just a tongue-twisted character. I do apologize. Almost 7,500 views on the BB Breakdown, a deep dive. I thought this video was really well put together. You know, I'm a low-tech girl in a high-tech world, as I mentioned, so I don't know how to do all the clips and gadgets and voiceovers and all that. But I thought this was very well put together. Then, skirting into the present about a week ago. So I was subscribed to the channel before this. Now, I did go through and I erased all my comments except for the one on Doing What's Right, his apology video. We'll get into that in a second. I went through and all the thumbs up I had left. And in no way am I telling you guys to do any of this. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying what I did as a person, which was right to me, is I went through and took out all the thumbs up. Any comments that I had made, I deleted them. I do not support racism of any sort. None whatsoever. I do not tolerate it. So, word gets out that on the farms, Kiwi Farms, and it gets out that he had made a bunch of comments in forums talking about racism with Charlie Gold. Now, listen to me. This is not a towel-kissing video for Charlie, Life of a Free Spirit, Michael B. Petty. This is what's doing right. I do not support any kind of racism in any shape, way, or form. So you can say, well, I don't like that person. I don't like this person. This just simply boils down to the category of racism. This doesn't have anything to do with, kissing Charlie's tail, Life of Free Spirit, Michael B. Petty, anything like that. This is simply based on the topic of racism itself. So, I never ever thought I would be making this video. I was subscribed to this channel. I was steady. The channel was growing. Right now, it's setting at $6.99. Before this panned out, it was almost to 800. So, it does seem like he has lost 100 subs off rip, and one including me. So let's get into what he has to say in the Foodie Beauty BB, the breakdown, a deep dive. Some of these videos were getting up in the 2,000-3,000s, the 5,000s. Again, this is almost at 7,500. You know, but he was gaining momentum. People were liking the way the videos were put together. You know, he did a lot of, well, pretty much the only, we'll see here. It was pretty much Foodie Beauty. It says, Jen versus Foodie, the high road. Foodie Beauty, the rage. Foodie Beauty, Foodie Beauty, Foodie Beauty. Foodie Beauty, Amberlyn. Foodie Beauty, Amberlyn. Foodie Beauty, Amberlyn. So, you know, kind of jumping on the reaction train, which I support anybody out there. So, it was a small channel. I'm still a small channel. You know, we're gaining a little bit of momentum slowly but surely, but I support anybody until otherwise, until you show me otherwise. Now, do I believe that people get a second chance? Yes. I am a recovering addict. I've been through heck and back. I was going to say, but we'll just say heck and back. I went left, now I'm trying to take a right turn and steer the boat around. Have I been through everything you can think of? Absolutely. But one thing that I do not deal with is racism. My friend is African American, as I've speaked of, my best friend Maya. Her family took me in when I was having a hard time. You know, I'm not going to get into all that, you know, because I don't want to put Maya's business out there. But her family took me in just as if I were one of them. And, you know, just like I was part of their family. So I do not like racism of any shape, way, kind. I don't like a peep of it. I don't like racist jokes. I don't like the old school, you know. I know back in the generation of, you know, the 40s, 50s, there were jokes that teetered the line. I've even told my grandma, you know, some things that, you know, they were saying, you know, along with the words of colored people. I said, you know, Grandma, that's not how we say things, you know, and that's just the generation that they were brought up in. So I try to, you know, throw some knowledge on Grandma, and in no way, you know, is she prejudiced or racist in any shape, way, or form. It's just, you know, colored was a thing that they said back in the 40s and 50s. So, you know, I try to throw knowledge on her, you know, as far as, you know, what's appropriate to say, you know, in this period of time. You know, so my grandma knows, you know, Maya's my best friend, has been for probably, God, we've been probably friends 20, 21 years. You know, my best friend, we've been through a lot. So that's what I'm saying here is, you know, people do make mistakes, but when you're throwing out here, as we're going to get into this video, when you're throwing kind of things, you know, talking about Foodie and Foodie's racism, and here you are less than a month ago, and that was the thing here, people. The words came out that this was all within a month ago. He was making racial slurs against Charlie Gould, Life of a Free Spirit, talking about Michael B. Petty. We're just going to call him Imperious because, what is it, Phalanx, I don't know, but we're just going to call him Imperious. Imperious is a gay man himself, so why would you say anything about Michael B. Petty when you yourself have probably been through things, you know, I don't know. It just was strange to me. I'm like, you are a gay man, Michael B. Petty. Why? You have no leg to stand on. Why would you even say something when you are literally probably been through the same things as this man, as a gay man? So, just the things that he had said. So I wrote in my comment, I said, I wrote way more than that, but I ended up deleting it because it started coming more to the surface. I said, you know, people can get a second chance, but then things really started surfacing up that this was only a couple weeks ago, a month ago. So I was like, delete. You are not going to get my comments. You are not going to get my thumbs up. And until you can show me that you are genuinely sorry, and the doing what's right video, we'll get into that here in a minute. I just, like I said, this is a month ago. This is still a fresh wound, as people would say. And I think it's ridiculous. So let's jump in to the Foodie Beauty BB breakdown and listen to what he says, talking about Foodie Beauty and racial things. But here this guy is in the background. Excuse me. Here this guy is in the background, basically making ridiculous derogatory comments. And yes, I'm wound up. The vein on my neck is popping. But this is a subject, and I've said this before, and if you look at my description, even before I had 2 subscribers, I said there will be no racism, none tolerated on this channel. I don't block people, but if you want to get blocked, that's the #1 way. That has been in my description since I made a bubble bath haul video. You know, I'm using that as I remember that was one of my early videos, was like a Mr. Bubble haul. That has been in my description since I've even had 5, 10 subscribers. That is nothing that we do not tolerate over here. I don't care if you're white, black, Mexican, Puerto Rican, Chinese, what the color of your skin is. People come in good shapes, sizes, of all colors. There's bad people in every color. Anything. It's all about who you are inside and what is inside to me. And I was always brought up like that. Always. My mom may be an alcoholic, but one thing she is not, honey, she is a wild woman. But one thing she is not a thief, she is not a liar, and she is not a racist. Those were something that was distilled into me since early in childhood. I can never, ever... I remember being in school, and I grew up in a small royal town, so there wasn't many, you know, people, black people, African American, however, you know, you present to say it, but there wasn't, you know, very many black people in my school. There just wasn't. There was literally a handful I can count. And this girl, so many people were mean, and I was so nice to her, and she was just the cutest. She was so freaking nice. And I remember even as being a kid, just, hey, do you want to play with me? You know, I was the bad kid that always took candy and shit to school. Like, you want some gummy bears? You know, but I never, even as a child, it didn't cross my mind like, they look different. That didn't matter to me at all. Because it was instilled in me is what's in somebody. And I'm not just saying this, but I really want to get through that nobody can choose the color of their skin. It's about who they are inside. So that's why I'm really fired up, because like I said again in my description, this is one thing that I've stand, and you can look, there's some views that got like 20, 23 views. I mean, I didn't start, and I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't start picking up momentum till a little bit ago. That was something that I put in that description since day one. Day one. Will not be tolerated. So anyway, so let's get why I babbled, and, you know, let's get into what he has to say, and then we'll get into his apology video. But again, like I said, I really was like gunning for this person. I thought, wow, these edits are cool. These clips, this is well put together. It's quick to the point. Well, some of them. This is an hour 18, but it's more like a documentary style. And I thought this is really well put together. You know, this channel could be something. And that just truly let me down, man. When I seen that, like I said, I had wrote, you know, some paragraphs and did like a couple things. And then once I found out exactly, you know, what was going on and the vile things that were said, I mean, the things that were said, I'm not going to say because I don't approve of things like that. And vile things. Vile things. If you want to do your own research, go for it. But it has been researched. It's been researched on the farm. And vile things. Things that people, you know, just vile things. Let's say that. I'm not going to dredge them back up, and that's not something that I want to do to anybody is, you know, re-dredge these comments. And, you know, if they haven't heard of them, some of these people I do talk to, I don't want to be the one to dredge these terrible comments up. If they haven't heard it, then you're not missing anything. It was a bunch of vileness spewed. Let's get into what he has to say here about what Foodie Beauty, but listen here. Now, put this in the back of your mind. A month ago, this guy was spewing, literally, okay, this video, 3 weeks ago. So, as he's spewing these vile comments and making this video like he's a saint, this is the exact same time. I mean, a little bit, you know, but basically around the same time. So this is his foodie video. We're going to listen to his voice. He does like a voiceover in this.
For that, because I know I'm not racist. It's just ridiculous at this point. You know, Cole is black.
This was an apology video, by the way, to Charlie, but it does not feel like an apology. Also, she brings up racism a lot in this video, and it skirts around fine lines, let's just say that. I'm pretty non-sensitive to these kind of topics, but I can understand why some people were pretty quick to anger with this. Her videos...
So you're unsensitive to these topics because you're spewing. I really wanted to say shit, but so you're unsensitive to these topics because damn near around this time you're spewing vileness is what it breaks down to. That's why you're insensitive to this. So that's why I want to show this. This is one of the key points that I've been digging through this crap and researching, that you basically are insensitive to this because you were doing the same shit. Only really worse, because the comments that, well, I'm okay, let me rewind that. I'm not saying, yes, the cool thing we've covered, that to me was vile and disgusting too, but whoa, where he went is some pretty wild places. So this really makes sense, this little key part here. That's why I wanted to show this.
Charlie especially were...
And first off, he's talking about Charlie, but Charlie's one of the people, excuse me, I know I'm raising my voice, but I'm heated. Charlie's one of the people that he was spewing the comments about. Charlie Gold, Life of a Free Spirit, Michael B. Petty, and excuse me, I apologize if I missed anyone. But Charlie was one of the people that he was talking about. So here he's talking about Foodie Beauty in this, but in the back, in the scenes, in his little freaking keyboard warrior mind, he's spewing out nonsense.
Clip, I believe, of her true nature, and this is the real Chantal. You can tell by how petulant she is.
I just can't. I can't.
So, let's move on to the apology video. Now, this is the last video I will be watching. This is the last time we will be giving this any more kind of play, any more kind of action. And I advise you, do not go over there if you haven't seen this, if you don't know about this. The more action you give a channel, the more it throws them in the spotlight, the more it puts them in the algorithm. So this is one candle that we're going to light and burn out and snuff out. That's it. The door is closed. Until he can ever prove to me or any of you that he's changed, and I don't believe, I think, my friends, as again, let's read my comment right quick here.
Me to say so?
Let's read my comment. One last question, because I erased the other ones. That's why it says one last question. And I almost deleted this, but I thought, let's make you wonder and think on this. One last question. Would you have dressed these things if it didn't come out the way it did, or was it on your mind? Revenge of the Fupacabra. I like that person, and let's listen to this. Apparently, these comments were recently made just a month or so ago. I also read on Kiwi Farms he made fun of Floyd's death, and I truly hope that isn't true. Did you hear that? So that's why I left that. That way people could read under the comment what I wrote to what Fupacabra wrote. And I thought, I was an avid watcher, an avid watcher. So I want you to leave that up. And, so let's get in. This is his video. And let me just say, you are talking about people's different... Honey, get yourself a haircut and hit me up, because you need a haircut, bub. It's looking a little wild. He did shave for this. But get yourself a haircut, because you're not the biggest looker, and I'm not saying this tit for tat, but be careful, you know, judging other people.
Hello there. And this video isn't a positive one at all. It's a pretty dark video because what I've done in the past is horrible. Fucking horrible. And
So, as just out of gate, I've noticed we've got no eye contact. If I'm doing an apology, I want to look at you directly. I want to look you. I know we're not face to face, but as we were saying, if you're a person, you know what I mean. If the camera would be a person, you know what I'm saying. I want to make direct eye contact with you, what I'm saying, and if I'm genuinely sincere, I want you to know from the bottom of my heart, hey, this is how I feel, person to person, this is what I feel. So we're looking all over the place, we're looking down, and I know some people do have, you know, trouble making, you know, eye contact things, but we're not person to person. We are a person to a camera, a phone, whatever he uses, his laptop. This just, to me, did not seem, and we're not watching the whole 20 minutes of this in 48 seconds. We're going to start at the beginning, and then we're going to skip to where the waterworks start.
said horrible things about certain people, about Life of Free Spirit, Charlie Gold, Michael Pay, Young Dumb Honey Bun even. Just fucking everyone.
I know I've made funny, and just like I've said before, when I make parodies, that doesn't mean I don't like somebody. I made a Young Dumb Honey Bun parody. That doesn't mean that I don't like somebody. People are like, you're mean. Have you not seen Saturday Night Live back in the 80s, 90s, and Living Color? It is for comedic, a comedy skit. A comedy skit. Sugar Bear, it's for comedic purposes. It is for entertainment. But what, it's like he's just picking people, just like, what are you picking? Like, people, like, these people all seem like they have numbers, like subscribers. Was he doing that to try and get traction, to try and, like, you know, I'm going to jump on the anti-hater train to, like, stir up the pot to try and get traction? You were getting traction without doing that before everybody found out.
But Charlie Gold, Life of Free Spirit, and Michael B. Pay, especially, and
Look
Zach
at the
Michael,
camera if you're sorry.
because I feel that if something like this happens to anyone, either they can run or face it head on, and just be who they are, really, because
Be who they are? That's quite telling. That was quite telling. Be who they are. I'm speechless. You see, I had to, like, catch my breath on that one. Let's keep going. And again, this is the last time. We will not go to this channel for, excuse me, we will not be going to this channel for clippets of, I don't care what happens. I won't use this channel for clippets and snippets. I don't care if we miss something. This will be the last time we turn on this channel.
what I've done in the past, as most of the
The past a month ago.
can tell, is very different to what is here. And though some people think it's an SJW, social justice warrior ploy, etc., that isn't me. I'm not in any kind of alignment anyway, because I'm just not. It's not me. And what I've said in the past was horrible. I think there's dating back from like freaking April 2020 even, and what I've said was just fucking vile. So horrible. Using the N-word, saying the F-word, saying the R-word. Not even like through...
So you seem to be like almost like the person you cover. Foodie is said the R word just, what was it, 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago? Foodie's had racial, you know, things. So there's 2 checks you got on your list, as same as the person you're covering. Good to know. Good to know.
Anonymity, because some people can say that and be like, oh, it's anonymous. But that still doesn't justify it, because even though you're anonymous, you should not be saying those things anyway. They're horrible words, and
Found out you weren't anonymous, didn't they?
saying them is hypocritical of me, saying things about Chantal even, and those people, because it's wrong. And first off, Charlie Gold, I've put you in memes, I've called you the N-word, and I've said horrible fucking stuff about you. I have. And I'm so sorry.
You know, I know there's some of you out there that don't like Charlie for, you know, other things, but you gotta, I've said this before, what's wrong is wrong, what's right is right. And nobody deserves any of that because the color of their skin. Nobody deserves things like that. You don't pick who your mother is, who your father is, where you were born, what color your skin is. That's why I say, you know, some people deserve a second chance depending what they did, but this is all fresh, man. And it seems like he was doing this for months. Like he said, back since April. And it, like he said, oh, you're anonymous. No, they found out you weren't anonymous, pumpkin pie.
Because no one deserves that. You get enough flack as it is online. You get enough flack. You can't even fucking go without weighing yourself. So who the fuck am I to say that to you? It's wrong. It's disgusting. Utterly fucking disgusting. And I cannot even express how fucking sorry I am, because me saying that to you is not only wrong for me.
So my thing is, we're gonna, I know this is boring and blah, we're getting into why it works, but my thing is too, and I erased that part because I didn't want to leave a ton of comments throwing this into the algorithm. Excuse me, make your apology, look into like you're talking to people instead of. Second off, why wouldn't you DM these people and say, you know, hey, can I talk to you? You know, that's another thing I said. Maybe you should get a hold of these people on the side too. And, you know, our community is pretty well knit, tight knit. And everybody, you know, is basically, it's one big community. You know, and I know that some people, you know, watch me, aren't part of the community, and okay, but what I'm saying is, it isn't very hard to, you know, hey, do you know how to get a hold of so-and-so? You know, do you know how to have so-and-so's email? Or just, I said, maybe you should DM these people or email them, message them somehow if you're genuinely, truly sorry about this. If you are genuinely sorry and you're not just saying this because you got caught up, but the feeling I have that he wouldn't have, that's why I said this comment. Would you have brought this to the light if somebody else didn't? Would you have came out with this if somebody else didn't bring this to light? I don't think he would. I don't. And that's why I'm unsubscribed, and that's why I'm out. And that's why I will no longer be watching this channel. So let's move right along to the waterworks and give him his last 5 minutes of fame, at least on this channel. And yeah.
It's hateful though.
So I want to say right quick, basically, what he's saying is why he did these things. A quick recap here, and then we're, like I said, this is it. Candle snuffed, out on this one. What he's saying is that he was in a bad relationship, and that's kind of the justification of why he did this. I'm sorry, I have been through the ringer and back. I can't even tell you because it's not, you know, I guess you could say content friendly. I've been through heck and back, in relationships, physically, mentally. And did it force me to call people names? No, it didn't. And I know everybody deals with things different, but I think he's using that as an excuse.
Going forward, I don't know what I'm going to do with this, really, because it feels wrong to just mitigate what has happened and ignore it, because I should not ignore it. I need to really just sit down and with myself, but also the people who support me, be like, okay, how do I go forward in this now? Because something has got to change. And though something has changed already, I need to prevent that change.
A month ago, I'm all for change, but a month ago, I think what's done, and like I said, people totally deserve a second chance, depending on what, circumstances, are, but I think this is done for me. And again, I'm not one of those people that, cancel them, they're done, one chance they're out, I've made mistakes in my life, but as far as me, I think the damage is done with this, and being, just a month ago, you were spewing this violence, but yet you're making these videos, acting like you're Mr. freaking squeaky clean and perfect 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago, and like I said, I don't think this would have came out unless, I don't think he would have brought this to the attention. I don't.
From going and reverting, I need to be the person I am and what you guys have seen. Because I think the person I currently am is disregarding, like, those things is a just, yes, sassy, forgiving person, to me anyway. And like, I know Chantel is a mess. I should not be, I shouldn't like absolve myself and be like, okay, I've said a sorry, and then tear her down. She clearly needs help anyway.
Okay, let's get into the waterworks, and this guy is
no, that's fucking stupid.
literally getting his last,
I'll see how I feel.
5 minutes. We'll do the last 5 minutes of shame.
Kind of go. I have other people definitely know about reworking yourself, and that's the moment I learned was into an area, and it's sad to be honest because no one deserves that all. Like, no one deserves it.
Okay, so let's add the Laura Lee Waterworks, and then this book is closed. On to the next one. Like I said, right is right, wrong is wrong, and we're going to finish strong on this one, and let's give him his last 5 minutes of shame on our channel, because nobody deserves to be treated like that because of the color of their skin.
Sorry. No one deserves to be like forced into an area and like run off and be like, oh, you're gonna work that job and you're just gonna do that because it's really fucking wrong. And that's the moment I learned that these people actually suffer some kind of persecution, and that I can understand now that their protests are actually to stop that happening and stop that fate being given to them and just being delivered by.
Wah, 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 wah. Okay. Unfortunately, it is what it is. I was, thought he was a good channel, and true colors come out. Beware, beware. There is little internet detectives everywhere, my friends. Stay strong, support each other, and think about things. I've never had a racist bone in my body. I never have ever crossed my mind to treat anybody different. So, I don't know, man. Felonious Assault, Imperious, whatever your name is, you might need to do some self-recognition or self-recollecting and set back and see what people had to go through. And you need a haircut, so you better be careful. You're not the cutest thing out here walking, sweet pea. So be careful trying to judge others when you ain't got your game on lock tight either. So get yourself a haircut. Do some research out here. Get some therapy and counseling because you let people down. And on that note, that is 2 thumbs down for this channel. It's an out for me, and I will see you guys later. Have a great day, great night, depending on when you're watching this, and I will see you guys later. Again, please do not go to this channel. That is not why I made this, but I did want to draw some light to it since I seen nobody else had at the time. Do not, I'm done. Don't ask me. We're not going to watch, I don't care if there's a clip I need from something. This book is out. This guy, out. 2 thumbs down. Imperious, you're out. See you later. Have a good day, great night, and Kaya is out.